Good afternoon and welcome back to Voices on WinFM at 98.9. I am your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris in an address to the nation announcing a 24-hour lockdown for the island of Nevis. So the island of Nevis will go into a 24-hour lockdown effective Saturday, July 3rd, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. And that was revealed by the Prime Minister in his address. He also noted that additional vaccines have been sourced, 5,000 vaccines, and the vaccination drive will recommence on July 8th, 2021. He also used the opportunity to encourage people to go out and get vaccinated, commended those that have been vaccinated, and he discouraged people from becoming complacent and not following the protocols. It is 1:15 p.m. and you're listening to Voices on WinFM at 98.9. We're going to open the phone lines and we're going to take some calls. Give us your feedback. What do you think about this lockdown that was announced for the island of Nevis? Give me your take on it. Tell me what you think about this lockdown, if you think it was necessary or not. I want to hear from you, members of the public. The numbers to call are 466-0989, 762 and 662. Call us and be a part of this conversation. It's very interesting, as we hinted earlier, that this may be possible, that there will be a lockdown for the island of Nevis. We saw people out in their numbers going to banks, supermarkets to get essential items purchased because they hope that there will be a lockdown. Prime Minister Harris noted that this decision was arrived at. This decision was made because of the slight increase rather, in cases on the island. The island now has 17 recorded cases, and one of the case, as announced by the Prime Minister, this individual works rather in an area with people that are very much vulnerable to COVID-19. And so we saw this one coming. I just want to really, ask people to be vigilant, do what you have to do to protect yourself, don't be complacent, and really follow the protocols. These are trying times for all of us, uncertain times, and we are only hoping that we all get it through this. So the phone lines are open. I'll welcome your calls at this time to hear your feedback as it relates to the lockdown. We know it would have happened. We know we would have been in this position, and it was only a matter of time. Yes, travel was suspended between both islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, but we know that, of course, as an essential worker, you were allowed to travel. And so we understood that there is still some possibility of the virus coming to Nevis, or probably, I should say, the virus has been in Nevis probably before the lockdown was localized to St. Kitts. And now the health authorities, the federal government, and the Nevis Island administration, they saw the need to do a 24-hour lockdown. And if I just may ask this question, I hope nobody gets upset with me. But Nevis now has, let me say, 2 active cases of COVID-19, and we have been placed under a 24-hour lockdown. Now, this could very well be because of our smaller size. We only have just over 13,000 people, while St. Kitts has about 40,000 plus, 45,000 plus people. And so we understand the virus, from my understanding, the virus has a greater chance of spreading because it's such a small population, and the virus has a better chance of overwhelming the healthcare system because of such a small population. And so probably that was part of the argument as to why there needs to be a lockdown for Nevis. On St. Kitts, there was not a 24-hour lockdown until a large number of active cases came. Nevertheless, prevention is better than cure. So, if this is what the authorities feel is necessary to curb the spread, then we hope that it works. I just don't want to hear that, after this lockdown, okay, we're back to normal, everything is back to normal, and then 2 weeks later or a month later, we're into a 24-hour lockdown. Now we understand the virus can only spread if there is movement, and movement that are not protected. People who are moving, but they are not protecting themselves. They are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in terms of wearing masks and following the pharmaceutical measures such as um, sanitizing your hands and all of that. And so that is why we see the virus continues to spread. It continues to mutate. It continues to, go throughout our community. So I'm hoping that people could really be um, learn from what is happening here, and we're hoping that the situation will get under control. It is what I would say something that we very much expected. We very much saw this one coming, and it was only a matter of time. The phone lines are still open. If we have no calls at this time, we are going to begin wrapping up this program. It's just 22 minutes past the hour of 1. I'll allow you guys to go out and get your final do your final shopping. Of course, if necessary. If not necessary, then there's no need for you to leave your house. But if necessary, of course, go out and do what you have to do in terms of essential movement only, and get some items for your household. But people, I want to beg, and I'm pleading with you, please follow the protocols. Sometimes I go to business places, I go to these places around here in Nevis, because I'm in Nevis, and people are not adhering to the protocols. People are refusing to sanitize their hands and making this ridiculous argument about, oh, their hands, they don't want any hand sanitizer on their hands, and they don't want to wear the mask because the mask is uncomfortable. Well, we know what could happen if we don't do that. And so while we're going to push an argument and say there needs not to be a lockdown, or there shouldn't be a lockdown, then these are the measures that we must adhere to if we don't want a lockdown. These are the measures that we must adhere to if we don't want a lockdown, in terms of following the non-pharmaceutical measures, wearing a mask, washing your hand, social distancing, all of that. But if you're going to be complacent, if you're going to ignore these measures that have been recommended by the health officials, then of course, the option of a 24-hour lockdown or restricted movement will be enforced. It will be enforced. Quickly, if I just to remind people, the Prime Minister announced that 5,000 additional vaccines have been sourced. And so the vaccination drive will recommence on July 8th. And they are encouraging people to go out and get vaccinated, those who have not been vaccinated. Of course, once you are cleared by your medical official, your practitioner, your medical doctor, once you have been cleared, then you can go out and be vaccinated. 5,000 additional vaccines have been sourced. I'm not sure how they're going to split this amongst the islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. Maybe St. Kitts will get 3,000, maybe will get 2. That was not explained in the address to the nation. But go out and get vaccinated if you are eligible to do so. If you are eligible to do so. And these vaccines will expire, according to Prime Minister Harris, on August 31st, 2021. While we don't know at this time where the vaccines came from, he did say that they were in contact with other government heads and they were able to source vaccines. So I'm hoping that our people, really do the right thing, protect themselves, social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep yourself safe from COVID. We're going to begin wrapping up this edition of Voices. Let me use this opportunity to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for playing a part here. Thank you for your calls, comments, questions, and any other way that you may have contributed. For those of you who just tuned in, earlier today, we sat down with Mr. Lesroy Williams, the Director General for the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service, SKNIS, and we had a conversation about the Education, Communication, and Warning Subcommittee and what is expected of that committee in the event of a natural disaster. We know now that we are in the hurricane season, and this is the period of when things may not be as normal as we would like them to be. And so these committees will be activated to assist us, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, in the event there is an emergency. And so while we are encouraged to be vigilant against hurricanes and listening to the news, listening to updates from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the Met Office, we are still encouraged to follow the protocols because now we have to deal with COVID and now we have to deal with hurricanes. And so be very vigilant, do what you have to do, safeguard yourself, and we trust that we will oversee and overcome, rather, this difficulty that we have been faced with. I want you guys to stay safe. Have a great weekend. We know it's going to be a weekend of lockdown. St. Kitts will go back into a 24-hour lockdown effective 6 o'clock. This evening, Nevis will go into a 24-hour lockdown effective 6 o'clock tomorrow, effective 6 p.m. July 3rd. There will be a 24-hour lockdown for the island of Nevis, and St. Kitts will return to a 24-hour lockdown until July 8th. Of course, if you are on the island of St. Kitts, you will be allowed to come out on June 8th and June 9th for essential movement only. Only for essential movement will you be allowed to come out and conduct essential business. Nevis, I anticipate now, people are out in their numbers trying to get things done. They're trying to make sure that everything is in place. But I really want people not to panic. There is no need to panic. There is no need to do panic shopping, panic buying, and all of that. Just understand that, yes, things may not be the way that we want them to be, but there is definitely no need to panic at this time. If you have to go out to shop at the supermarket, please, I am begging you to follow the protocols, because this defeats the entire purpose of a lockdown. If everybody is going to go out and if everybody is going to flood the supermarkets and do this unnecessary shopping. It's 1:30, so we're going to end this program. Thank you guys so much and have a fantastic Friday, a super Saturday, and a blessed Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow for Inside the News. You guys take care. Until next time, I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tax specials from July 1st through 14th.